Hello, how are you? This is Els coming from Bemis Crafty Corner, and I have a project for us. This is a Dollar Tree upcycle and, you know, home decor kind of thing, and just really a simple, quick, easy project that we're going to be doing. And it was inspired by, I saw some of these, you know, crate labels, these vintage crate labels, and I said, you know, I've seen these at the Dollar Tree. See, they look like this, and they come in two shapes. So they come in this square one, and they come in this longer one that's, you know, shorter. And I thought, how cute would these be, like, you know, in a kitchen? So we're going to do this today. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to get a whole bunch of supplies out and something to protect my board, and we'll get started. I'll be right back. All right, supplies on this one. You're going to want some of these crate labels, and you want to make sure that they're going to be smaller than the pieces. So I went like 5 by 5 on these. So we're going to want those. We're going to want something to protect our work surface. Of course, we're going to want these crate pieces. And then, as far as supplies, we're going to want something to mix paint in. We're going to want some kind of brown paint in a color that you want to use as your stain. A big mop brush with some water. Some carpenter's wood glue. Some matte gel medium. A brush for that. A pair of scissors. And some painter's tape or masking tape, okay? So I'm going to get everything cleared out of the way here that we don't need. And I'll be back. And when I come back, we'll get started on the project. I'll be right back. All right, a little bit of prep work on this one. First thing we're going to do is remove the sticker labels that are on the back of these. And those come off pretty easily. Once you have those off, then we're going to do a little bit more prep. We're going to take some of our painter's tape, just a little bit. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but for me, it just, so I don't get paint on the string, you know, I don't get anything on the string, because that would look silly. So I'm just gonna put little flags on these here, and I'll do all of these, and then I'm gonna take a look at these, because you'll kind of get an area where your stain won't adhere, because there's wood glue there, where these are glued together. So if you want to get that part off, we'll talk about that too. All right, so one more to go. This one. And then we can take a look at the rest of this. Okay. So now this part is not mandatory to this project, but if you have, let's see, some shiny glue in here, you can take a craft file and kind of go in there and rub that out, or just a piece of sandpaper folded in half that'll fit in there, and you can rub that glue off of there, because they just kind of like slap it on and slap these on, so it gets a little messy and you end up with a little bit of glue, and then, you know, your color won't adhere. So now we're going to make our color. So I'm going to use this little dish and some brown paint. This is chocolate drizzle, and I'm going to put just a small amount. It doesn't really take a lot to do this. And we're going to bring in our water and our big mop brush, and I'm not going to knock the water off of this. I want that water to loosen that acrylic paint up. Okay, now, as always, paper towels are important here. You're going to use them. Okay? So, get this over here out of the way, move the water because we don't really need it. And what we're going to do is we're going to stain these. So we're going to take this big mop brush full of this very loose paint, and we're just going to put it on here very quickly. And we want to get, you know, as much of this covered as we can. And once you have it covered, we're going to take our paper towels and we're going to wipe it off. Okay? And that gives us a sort of stain on there. Okay? Make sure that you get your edges. And again, just dab that off, and this top piece and the bottom as well. Okay? Get that out of the way, because you don't want to get paint on it. Just like that, and then just wipe it off. Okay? So we're going to do that to all three of these, and when I'm done, I'll come back and we'll move on to the next step in creating our little plaques. Okay? So I'll be right back. This is where we're going to use the matte medium. So we're going to get a big wide brush that we don't care too much about, and we're going to go ahead and just put some matte medium on these. And the reason we're doing this is just to seal it. So you can use, you know, whatever sealer you want. I like the matte because I don't want that glossy look. So I'm going to go ahead and put a nice coat on each of these, and then I'm going to let them dry, and once they're dry, we'll finish working on them. But next we're going to talk about our images, okay? So I'm going to get this on here, and then we'll talk about our images, okay? I'll be right back. Now, we're going to take our images, and I'm going to just get them trimmed out roughly, and then I will hit them with the scissors. Let's see, what other one do I want to use? I think I'm going to use this one. That one, this one, and let's use that one. All right, so I'm going to get these cut out, and then I'm going to use my scissors to get close. So let me get all of these out of the way. Come here. Okay. Let me get all that out of the way. We'll put this over. And we want to make sure, let me bring one of these over real quick. We want to make sure that all of our images are going to fit. Yes. Yes. And yes. Okay. Those back so that they can finish drying. And then I'm just going to trim these up, and it's up to you whether or not you want to ink them. And if you want to give them a little character. Okay, so by giving them a little character, I'm talking about putting some little tears in there, or pulling a piece out, or, you know, it's up to you. But I am going to cut these very close so I don't have that white. And then I'm going to ink all of my edges. So when I originally thought of this project, it was because I had the piece that I used to make the demo. I had that piece. And it was just sitting here, and I was like, and then I saw the labels and I went, oh, that'll work. And then I went to the store and they had 2 different sizes. So now I have to do it in 2 different sizes, which is okay because I have pot shelves in my house, in my kitchen, and so I can hang these along the pot shelf and it'll look pretty cool. So I'm going to get this one cut out and get them all inked up, and then I'll be back. All right, see you in a minute. So let's do this. Before I go any further, I'm going to decide, do I want to put this on here kind of cattywampus? You know, do I want to put it on there straight? Do I want to really drastically put it on there? Because this, you know, this would have been normal. They just slapped these on. And I think what I'm going to do is just put it on just slightly out of alignment. Like that. So, I'm going to turn this over. Set this to the side. And this is just Elmer's wood glue. Okay? Now you can use any adhesive you want, but I think that the wood glue works the best on this. So I'm going to put a little bit into my dish here. And I'm using a throwaway brush. And I'm just going to paint this wood glue on here. Now it's very sticky stuff, but you really want to make sure that you get those corners and edges. You don't want to get any on the front. And this is why I said use a disposable brush. Because this stuff is sticky. And it dries pretty quick. So, make sure you got something to protect your work surface. And once I have it, and you can see it's sticking to my hand, I'm going to pick this up, turn it over, and I'm going to push it down on there. Now I'm going to let this dry before I move on to the next part, okay? So I'm going to do them all, and then when I come back, we'll move on to the next part of this, okay? I'll be right back. Now that these are all well adhered and they're dry, the last step of this is to seal everything. And again, I like to go back to my matte gel because I don't want this to be shiny. I want it to look like an old crate. But the matte gel will seal it. And it takes a little bit of the shine off the label, because those labels are shiny when you get them printed, or when you print them up, if you're using a quality printer. And I like the fact that it gives it a little bit of a wrinkly look, you know, like, hey, I'm old. So I'm just going to cover these all with some matte. And then once I've got them all covered, I'll take the tape off of the string and these will be done. So I'm going to get them covered and then I'll come back and show you what they look like when they're all finished. I'll be right back. Alright, so these are all dry. So the last part here is just taking off these little pieces of tape that we put on. And then we'll take a look and see how they came out. Okay. All right. So there's the petunia one. I like it. And that is the Madisonville Beauties. This one is the red bighorn, the big red cherries. And then of course this is the one that I started with, that I did as the demonstration. So that's it. That's my quick little upcycle project for the day. I think they're fantastic. And I can't wait to put them up in my kitchen. And I hope that you enjoy this project. If you do, you know, leave me a comment. I like comments. I like talking to you guys. But that's it. That's all I have right now. If you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit the button for me and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell, and share me with all your friends. Check out the community tab here on the YouTube channel or scoot on over to the Facebook group. Links to everything in the description box below, including the drive link to get the list for this year's hashtag Projects of 24 challenge. And we are doing a upcycle basically of 52 decks, 52 cards in a deck, 52 weeks in the year. So we're doing the 52 card challenge. That's it. That's all I have until I see you again. Stay well, my friends. Bye.